What's happening, guys? So we're live, episode number 6. It's going to be a good episode today. We got Dax and Taylor from DNT Retics coming on, so it's going to be a good show. They're kind of new in the hobby, it seems like, and they're definitely making waves and doing a lot on social media. They're always Instagramming their stories and all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna bring them in. If I sound like crap, I'm getting over COVID, so I'm all nasally, so bear with me, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring them in. What's up, Dax and Taylor?
What's up, man?
Welcome. So I was just introducing you guys to the channel. How's things going?
Good.
Going good.
It's going good, man.
Very busy.
Yeah, how's the weather out by you guys?
It's cold.
Cold, I bet.
Our 1 inch of snow is freezing.
Well, I know we were talking earlier. Yeah, I was gonna say you guys got a little. So you guys are where in Texas again?
Dallas.
Yeah, just north of Dallas.
Just north of Dallas. Okay, so locals to the Arlington, NARBC, and all that. So awesome! You guys excited for the show? I know you guys got some cool stuff. It looks like coming or going to be on display at the show at least.
Yeah, we got it. It got here last week, so.
Oh yeah.
We kind of opened up the present last week at the Conroe show. We were going to keep it low profile, but we decided, let's just throw it out there because the last minute thing probably wouldn't work. So,
And so for the people that don't know, if they haven't been following, what was the surprise then for those people that don't know?
We got a visual oscillate and a caramel hit oscillate from Abu Ghraib.
And they're smoking. They are smoking hot looking snakes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they're nice snakes, man. They're beautiful.
Just gotta keep them for yourself. That would be hard to say. You know what you do? You have a killer show. You sell a bunch of snakes, then you send Aubrey some money and say, "I'm keeping the snakes," and then everybody wins.
Yeah, I mean everybody says that, but then it's I don't know. It's kind of a toss up for me, There's the oscillate, and then but there's other stuff we have here, and I hate to say it, and I always say it. I have no room.
Yeah.
So,
well, with Retics, yeah, it is definitely it's definitely hard to keep a bunch of stuff back. That's for sure. So you run out of space super fast.
Yep.
So we got your buddy, your buddies in here, Chris. Chris is saying, "What's up, you guys? What's happening, Chris?"
Right there.
Yeah. I know I'm jealous of you guys, man. I would love to come down and do the show. It was a blast the one time I came down out there. So when I met you, Dax and Taylor, for the first time. So, well, let's. I guess let's. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. We're going to let everybody learn a little bit more about you guys. So, what? I guess how long have you guys been into reptiles? Like a long time, or?
I've been into reptiles since I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to have any reptiles. The only thing my parents did allow me to have were turtles.
Okay.
So I was a big turtle fan, usual mud turtles, your Retic sliders, your back then Diamondback terrapins were available, easy to handle. So back then was mostly turtles for me. My parents, no snakes, no lizards, nothing. So kind of sucked, but kind of came around in the long term, but it went from turtles and then you experiment with other stuff, and I got little creatures like flying squirrels and all these other little things, and then from there, and my biggest project that I always did my whole life was saltwater. So I always had saltwater fish, and
that's a whole nother world, man. I've never gotten into it. I've always wanted to, but I've heard so many like crazy, insane horror stories of the amount of work it is, and
it's not bad. It's it's just getting your tanks set up and having them work on their own.
Yeah.
Once they work on their own, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just let them go.
Yeah.
And literally work on their own. It's crazy how nature, if you replicate it so much in a home, it actually will work out.
Right.
And it's like you got this living thing that lives in an ocean in your house I used to have about 6 125-gallon tanks. So,
holy shit.
Yeah, so I had a big collection back in New York.
That's wild.
So, some people will remember that if they're watching tonight. And from there, it's cool because you can get to replicate nature. And I had all my tanks; they were beautiful, my favorite things. And then I wound up getting divorced the first time, and that just all disappeared. It all left.
And get rid of everything.
Got rid of exactly. Had to get rid of everything, and I left the market and just didn't do no hobbying or nothing. And then probably I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, maybe three or 4 years ago. I went to the NARBC Arlington show.
Okay.
I took a walk in there to check out to see what it was about, just to go in there and get a snake, because now I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get a snake. I need a snake. I wanted one.
Yeah.
But I lived in an apartment and all I could get was a ball python. So I wound up going and getting one from DFW Reptarium. And then from there, the guys there were like, oh, you got to check out NARBC Arlington. We'll be there, And so I wound up going, and I was amazed. It was this huge convention center.
Yeah.
Tons of vendors, and I was just like, holy shit,
So that kind of like your first, I mean, since you were in the saltwater world, you probably knew that there was like a reptile world, right? So, okay. So, but the NARBC, that time you went, that was the first time you've really been to like a reptile convention.
Yeah, it was one of the bigger ones, and it's just like, I was amazed. I'm like, how many snakes were out there and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I mean, I knew about ball pythons, but nobody had warts or nothing. It was just normals or wild caught or anything like that, and they were super expensive. I couldn't afford nothing. So it was like, so now it's like, now I can afford shit. So let me buy stuff, whatever I want. So I wound up walking around, and I had my first ball python, like I said, from DFW Reptarium, and I'm walking around, and I see this guy, and he's got these enclosures, and I'm like, what are these things? And he's like, these are enclosures. He's going over everything. Wound up being Byron at Briggs.
Oh, okay.
So he sold me my first boa. So from him, that's where the big snakes came in. So he sold me a Motley Jungle boa. I still have her today. She's awesome. She's
no shit.
Such a good snake, dude. Ridiculous. She comes out and she just stays on my head and just goes nowhere besides that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Crazy.
How big is she? Is she good size?
She's about 4 feet right now.
Okay. Nice.
She's about 2 years old.
Yeah, about 2 years old. No, about 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, she. I don't power feed my animals.
Yeah.
So I kind of maintenance feed them, so this way they stay where they need to be. And all my babies are the same way that we have now, and all the animals we have now. We don't power feed.
Yeah.
So, once they get sold, it's up to the person to do what they want. That's up to theirs. But we still try not to push the overfeeding and all the other stuff.
Super easy to do, especially with the retics. I mean, I know like years ago when I first got into it, that was kind of the mindset, is everybody was feeding their stuff insane and getting them giant. I mean, this was mid to late 90s, and everybody was just growing these massive snakes. And, it's really shifted the last couple of years. You don't really need to feed them as crazy as you thought. I know for me personally, my biggest thing, and I've talked about it before, is I try to think in the wild, right? Some of these animals are going to go months in between feeding. They're not getting fed every 7 days a giant ass meal. Even some of my big retics, they'll eat 6, 7, 8 pound pigs, that I'll randomly a month or two, I won't feed them. And then I'll feed them a big rat or something just to kind of change up their diet a little bit. It's super easy. I mean, and it's awesome. Who doesn't like to see a big retic eat a big pig or a big rabbit? It's super cool. But man, it's just so easy for them to get fat in captivity, and
that's why we try to like I said,
it's so bad for them too. That's so unhealthy. I mean, they die, they get all those big fatty deposits, and it's just not good for them.
It doesn't look healthy. A snake that looks like it's oblong in shape and just
kind of looks like a
doesn't look right.
What are those like candy melts that you used to eat that are like flat on the bottom and they just kind
of? Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like one of those.
I don't know if you guys are. I'm on a bunch of different the Indonesia retic groups. I obviously I only do retics, so I kind of I don't know what other snakes, but you look at like all these guys that have these wild caught retics, and they're like they're like skinny little bean poles. They're super long, but they're super skinny. Yeah. And those were animals in the wild, and they're healthy and they're active. And compare them to 95% of the stuff that's in captivity now. It's insane. I mean, even mine. I have snakes that I don't feed that much, but when I feed them big meals, and they're probably a little on the heavier side. They probably could lose a little weight and be a little more healthier. It's just super easy to do.
We do that. Yeah, we do that with our females that we're learning now. We try to keep them, like you said, not so big, but big enough.
Mm-hmm.
So this way it's not such a drastic change when season comes around and they need to eat. We're not pounding them with food. It's kind of just a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more.
Right.
It's a slow progression,
Yeah,
absolutely. In the system, and I believe it's just less stress on them.
Yeah.
That's something I believe. So
what got you into reptiles then, Taylor? Have you always been into reptiles, or did Dax bring you into this world?
No. So as a teenager, I loved them. I loved snakes and geckos and bearded dragons. I had 2 or 3 leopard geckos and cresteds on my own with my kids back in Vegas, and then met my best friend, and she had a beardy, so then we had a couple of beardies together. And I wanted to get snakes, but my mother was never from them there, so I never had snakes. She is still to this day petrified and will not even step foot in our house.
Really? Miss Amanda's giving you a shout out, Taylor.
Of course.
Amanda, I love you. So then I met Dax, and I came over, and he had, he had 2 ball pythons and his motley jungle boa. And I was like, oh, these are wonderful. And I was like, I love them. And then got my kids into them, and they love them. And so then he's like, all right, I'm going to give you a spending limit at NARBC. So I'm going to give you $800. You can pick whatever snake you want. I was like, okay.
And what NARBC was this? Which NARBC? What was this recently? Was this like last year, 2 years ago? How long ago was this?
September 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So was this the same one that you got your boa then, Dax? Same year?
No, that was the year before.
I got mine a year and a half before.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we're walking around, and I'm looking at all the ball pythons. I'm like, nothing is just grabbing my eye. Like I don't ball python that I like. Like I'm just not intrigued by any of them. And then we passed TJ's constrictors, and I was like, I want that one. And he's like, fuck no, that's a retic. I'm not doing it. No. And I was like,
I don't have enough room.
Right.
Like, but you said I could have any snake I wanted. Any snake with an $800 limit. He's like, well, it's $900. I was like, here's the other 100.
Oh, damn.
So then he's like, well,
oh shit, here we go.
He said, we gotta get an enclosure, and I was like, okay, I'll pay for the enclosure.
He ran over to Byron.
I was like, done.
That's sweet. And what was it? What morph was it? Was it a normal or?
Motley GC.
Okay. Oh, that's one of the best morphs anyways that you could start with.
It was almost pitch black, the most iridescent snake I've ever seen in my entire life. And we still have him, and he's our baby. He's our OG.
That's very cool.
He's what started it all. And then I was looking on Morph Market, and after I fell in love with Retics, I was like, I want more.
Yeah.
I want more Retics. So then we found In Your Face Exotics with Amanda and Sarah and Gavin.
Yep.
And I reached out to them, and we got our second one.
And it's all their fault.
She's a dwarf citrus marble albino tiger, and she is phenomenal, and she's gorgeous. And then from there, I think we've gotten 6 or 7 from them.
Mm-hmm.
They're our main snake people.
And then we just grew, and now our entire house is filled with snakes.
Yep. Well, yeah, because you guys got the pied from me, last year? Mm-hmm. Was that last year? Year and a half ago? Something like that?
Year and a half ago.
Yeah. So, yeah. I knew, and I remember when I talked to you, Dax, online, I think it was, you were kind of like, it newer into the Retic world, I remember you were saying, and stuff like that.
I mean, it was literally, I was given the same answers walking through NARBC as every person today that comes to the table, and we don't have enough room.
They get too big.
Yeah, they get too big.
Yeah.
But TJ explained to me, on feeding, and TJ's love Tyler, great guy. He's one of our best friends. He explained the whole thing to me on how to, not how to overfeed and how it's not healthy for them, and the thing's not going to grow 35 feet like everybody when they come to the whole.
I mean, you get it all the time. I mean, I said, I've been doing it a long time. I've been doing shows since forever, and I mean, it never ends. It's that's a retic. They get 30 feet, and they need 8. It's you hear it all. You hear it all the time. It's so complete BS, and I mean, I guess I can understand. I mean, I guess I can't really, when you think about it, with the amount of information that's out there now, you would think that more people would be a little more educated. But, I mean, I'm thinking back when I started, there was no internet. It was all books and stuff. And even in the books, it was, 35 feet and, it's 300 pounds and this and that. And it's just not true. And then you go into the industry side, and everybody was feeding them tons of food and growing them huge, like we just talked about, and that's not good for them. There's a happy medium, and that's, I think, we're at now. You can kind of maintenance feed them, quote unquote maintenance feed them, keep them in that smaller size range, and they're going to be healthy and stuff. But then it's hard because you have people. It's such a divided front because so many people are you're starving the animal, and the other half are, nope, this is the way it has to be done this way. There's so many different ways to do it. I don't know. That's one thing I can't stand with the Retic community. And I'm guilty of it too. Everybody just is so stuck on their beliefs that it's hard to think that there's other ways to do things.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the room and you have a giant facility and you want to raise 20-foot snakes, your game is yours, man.
Right.
I'm not going to take that away from you, but it's just people like us who we don't have a facility like that yet.
Right. No, really, nobody does. No, very few people can do that.
Very few people do.
I want my snake to be healthy.
And we like to keep them healthy, like we said. But eventually, there's going to be a time where we have our own spot, our own little facility or something, which is future goals.
Yeah.
Where it's if we have a few giant ones, we got a few giant ones. But I mean, I'm still going to try to keep them healthy, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be mostly females anyway, because they're the bigger ones anyway.
Yep.
So, we're going to do that. And I don't have a problem doing that. But it's just like right now, the way we're running everything and the way everything's going, it's I can't afford a 18-foot female in my place. So.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have a few of them. Dude, it's a lot. It's just the amount of, I mean, when you got to clean it, dude, now you got to, so like I have all vision cages, right? So like my biggest female is my blonde tiger, and she's right around 18, 19 foot, give or take. I don't know. I'm terrible with estimating. But I mean, she's every bit of this big around, right? She'll eat about almost 30 pounds of pigs in a feeding. So she's in the bottom of my vision cage, which is basically on my floor. So when she shits and pisses, I have to haul her out and basically climb into that bottom cage. And I'm not a small guy, but it's so much work. That's the thing. It's hard. I don't feel bad, or I feel bad for everybody that has these giant, like these bigger breeders that have 30, 40 of these giant snakes that have to clean up after them. I have like 10 or 12 that are big, really big, and it's a lot of work. I couldn't imagine even guys like Bob or Jay that have hundreds of them, it's.
Yeah, we've been to Bob's place, and it was, I mean, it's nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean it's huge. I mean that's a facility.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy how massive these things can get, and you don't realize how big they can get when you feed them so much.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, we were looking at stuff, me and her, and we were just like, holy cow.
When I went out there once, and I look at my collection, I'm like, okay, I do have some pretty big snakes. But then you go to like his or you go to Jay's, and it's like, yeah, my snakes are tiny compared to, and like my big girl, she's like 150-ish pounds, give or take. She's not small. But you go and see some of those 200+ pound Retics that Bob has. It's like,
oh yeah,
holy shit, man! Like, what would you do if this thing freaked out? Like, it's. I mean, yeah, it's great. You really start to think like, damn. Do I really want something like that in my house? It's a monster animal. Animal.
Yeah, they are. So, like I said, if everything hopefully goes well with us. Like I said, that's future goals. So,
absolutely.
And I wouldn't mind having a big snake. For some of the, I mean, if you look at some of these snakes, I mean, they're beautiful, man. And to see something from this big grow to 16, 17 feet, I mean, it's like, wow. And still stay the same colors or even
get better. Yeah, get better.
Or even progress in the colorations and everything like that is amazing.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said, hopefully the facility will come sooner rather than later. And
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be great. It's like, I
Is
live
that something? Is that something you guys would want? Like, is your ideal, like in perfect world, would you have like a separate facility you have to drive to, or buy some property with a house with a building on it? What would be like your dream scenario then if you could have it? I guess.
We'll be looking for property soon, probably towards the summer.
Nice.
So we're gunning for a property with a facility on it.
Building on it. Hell yeah.
Building on it, yeah. Because we're, I'm looking at everybody else who has these things, and it's awesome. I mean, there you go, Jake.
Yeah. He's looking awesome.
Yeah,
he is looking insane.
Dude, he's crazy, bro.
That clutch turned out so good, man. I'm still so impressed with every one of those. I still have 5 of them here that I kept for myself.
Really?
Yeah. I have a 2.3 that I kept for myself. 2 males and 3 females, and my one girl's big. She's already eaten like 5-pound pigs. I've been feeding her a lot. So, like we were talking about, I've been feeding her a little heavier than the other ones just because she's the nicest one, and I want to get her in a big 6-foot cage quicker,
Yeah,
but
of course.
That's sweet though. He's looking insane, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got some good pies, dude. It's just, it's like, out of everybody we could have took, I mean, that's
the best clutch. That's the best clutch I ever made so far. I think those pies were, damn. Yeah, that'd be cool though. Hopefully you guys can get the facility, man. I know that's like everybody's goal. That's what I keep trying to get myself, and just trying to decide what I want to do, whether we're going to stay where we're at here and build an addition on my garage or buy a different house. I'd like to get some more property, and I'm on like a third of an acre, so not huge, but not tiny. But I want to get a little bit bigger house, maybe get an acre and a half, where I could get a big building, and I would like to get some bigger cages and stuff for all my stuff, and obviously
that's cool for us is to get a nice sized house, somewhere where we can keep a couple of our display snakes that we want to keep inside, but keep everything else in a building that we can build out in the backyard. That's maybe 1,500 square feet.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That's what we're gunning for, So, and everything's been going good with us lately. So, I mean, it's promising, So
yeah. Well, hopefully you guys can get it. That would be pretty amazing. So, I mean, we kind of hit on some of the things I was going to talk about, but we kind of already talked about them. So what was there anything that just made you focus then specifically on Retics? Was it just Taylor kind of, I want a Retic, and you getting it and just kind of, here we go? Or was it like, what was?
For me, it was the beauty of the Retic.
Okay.
And how, unlike ball pythons, everything seems to kind of fade and dull as they age. With Retics, everything enhances. And it just gets more beautiful and vibrant. And I mean, just what can happen with the different morphs or localities, and just endless options. Endless.
Right. Yeah, and it was like, with me, it was, the only thing that was holding me back was I don't have any room. So, it was, once I got past that, and once it was done, and, I wasn't coming back from it, I was just like, all right, here we go. Now, then from there, the whole decision to start getting into the hobby and the business part was based on Byron again from Brace. He always said to me, he goes, man, you need to start selling. And I'm like, well, I don't have clutches. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, you got to start from somewhere.
Right.
So, he was like, start it up. And I'm just like, I don't know anybody. So he wound up, introducing us to a few people. Once we started buying a few more Retics, Gavin and Amanda and Sarah over In Your Face, we were just on the phone with them so much, Then it was actually you after them, because we bought the pie right after we bought most of their stuff. And you were always willing to help us as well. You always chatted with me when I bothered the shit out of you. It was nice. And I got to see that, some of the people that we were meeting were cool as shit, because being a customer and being behind the table are two different things. And one thing I learned is some breeders can be total assholes.
Oh,
and,
100%.
And I tell it how it is, and and it sucks because I mean, there's times where I've looked at other snakes and I've been like, oh, how much is that animal? And they're like, oh, that one's 2,000, and I'm like, well, I only have 18. Oh, sorry, I'll go. Somebody will talk to the next customer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, really, dude? I'm like, let's talk something here. I mean, maybe if I even gave you the 1,800 and sent you $200 in the mail, just even offer me the down payment part about it.
Right.
And so
to just blow you off completely is just kind of
exactly.
such a dick move.
Yeah, and I hated that, man, because it wasn't fair, man. It was just like, I'm here to help you out because now that you didn't sell me your snake, I'm not going to come back to your table.
Right.
I'm gonna
well, not only that, you're not going to use his name positive towards anybody ever looking for anything either. So it's
that's the whole thing. So I was just like, nah, I'm not going to do this. So we started getting to know more and more people. We went from it was Byron, then Amanda and Sarah and Gavin,
and TJ.
Yeah. Then you, and then we started to get to know Chris McVicker, Jim Hardesty, Keith Stanbaugh. There's a few more people we started to learn, and then we hooked up with Aubrey. Me and Aubrey hit it off like it was just like literally just hit it off like two brothers. So and it was awesome to learn a lot from him. So the clique that the people that we're with right now, everybody that we mainly talk to, like you, Aubrey, Chris, and everybody, it's have been nothing but the coolest people in the world. And if it wasn't for those guys and you and stuff, we wouldn't be here today. Because I'll be honest with you,
the Retic community, man, is so small. It's such a small, tight knit group of people. I mean, it's when you really look at it, I've only been involved in the Retic stuff so extensively. Like I know a lot of people in ball pythons and boas and stuff, and I mean, there's such bigger markets compared to us. It's wild. Like everybody, pretty much for the most part, it's like if somebody doesn't fit in a group, it's like they're outcast almost. There's that small core group, I feel like, and it's the Amanda and Gavin and like Keith and Aubrey and Chris and all those guys. I mean, I remember when Chris was in it years ago and got out, and when it was before Facebook, it was all just the message boards, and it's people that I've known almost half my life, and it's just such a small. It's an awesome community, but it's so small.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody's. Like I said, everybody's been cool, and even people outside of that, this little circle that we have, has been amazing as well. I talk to a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook, and a lot of people are like, man, you're so nice, man. You take the time to sit here and talk to me and answer my questions and help me out, and that's the main reason I do that is because, like I said, I remember those days going up to the table and the guy being like, oh, you don't got enough money, and walk away. I don't want to do that, and that's what I want to be known for. I want us to be known for the people that you can walk up to, and no matter what, you can ask, and no questions ever dumb, no matter, and I'm not the most knowledgeable person still. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
But and it's people like you and everybody else that keep the knowledge that knowledge coming into my head. It keeps feeding me. It's the best part about it, and I just pass that on to everybody else. I want to be known, and I want us to be known as the cool people who you can go to and just bother and nobody cares about. You're not going to get me upset if you bother me and ask me the dumbest questions. And it could be about anything. It could be about ball pythons. And you know what? If I don't know about it, I will point you out to somebody else. We have a lot of good friends in the ball python, hobby as well. That would be super cool to help anybody else out. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, because I know there's a little bridge between ball python breeders and Retic breeders and other breeders, and we're trying to mend that, that bridge true, because we're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's the big thing, especially with all the lawsuit stuff coming up and stuff. It's we Retic people are so small, and USARC raises all this money for lawsuits and attorneys and all this stuff. The Retic guys contribute such a small amount of money. Like when you really we've talked, I know there's some of us have talked to Phil, and we know the numbers are super small. Like the people that are contributing these huge amounts of money don't give two shits about big snakes whatsoever. And it's that's the stuff that really, like, it blows my mind that these people don't even keep these animals and could give two shits about them, but they're putting up these insane amounts of money to help us fight for our rights to keep them, you know, and it just drives me nuts. Like, these people that will not join USARC or will not donate $5 or $1. I mean, to donate $1 from a shit, you know, like I was just listening to MJ's podcast, Trap Talk, and he had Robin Markland from when he used to work at Ship Your Reptiles, and Robin, which if I didn't hear this from Robin, I wouldn't even believe it. But Robin was saying that when he was there, they had it by default. When you were booking a shipment to sell a snake, it defaulted to donate $1 to
$1, yep.
And people, he said, 70% of the people would uncheck that dollar. So 70% of people wouldn't even donate $1 to USARC every shipment. That blew me away. You know, that's unbelievable to me. But it's just crazy to me, though. Like I said, these people that don't even keep these animals are willing to put up the money and help us. And that's what we need is, like you said, mend that bridge, get the ball python guys, which are a huge market. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars more than we are. Get into us and help us out. I mean, because when they come for the ball, it's going to happen. They're going to come for ball pythons. They're going to come for the geckos. They're going to come for everything. You know, we're just first on the chopping block. You know,
and we try to do our thing for USR too. And it's we our friend Matt Edmonds. I was sitting at dinner once with him, and we were talking. And I said, it'd be awesome if I could get like USR on the shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on. He calls up Phil, and Phil's like, sure.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you guys want? He gave us, and he sent us three pictures of what we could put on our shirts.
Yeah.
USR to use. And she's got the shirt on right now with the USR on the one sleeve. Now she's got the snake on the other side.
Yeah.
But we're going to take,
that's awesome.
Sales of that shirt, and we're going to donate it to them in Arlington. We're going to give them a check in Arlington when I see them guys.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do that. We're trying to show that, everything, we got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? And right
Absolutely.
now is definitely a time to stick together.
We need to, because if we don't, we're going to be dead in the water. If we don't, it's only a matter of time.
It's like with the shows. I mean, they're talking about interstate traveling with the animals. I mean, you can still have your shows in your states, but I mean, it's, we want to be able to. We love going to OKC. That's like our second home. It's like we drive to Oklahoma City now, and it's like we know where to go.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you think of all the, just even somebody like that has to go across the state to take their animal to the vet. You can't do that no more. It's just stuff like that. It just makes no sense.
Like the shows. I mean, that's another thing that's going to hurt promoters. We got, we sponsor Herbst, and we love them guys. And Lori and Sean are amazing people, and to have to see them go down to such political crap, it's not fair to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we're all trying to do everything we can. Again, we told them we're going to put them on our shirts too. They were more than happy. We told them we were going to donate as well. So we're trying to do our thing, and like I said, that's what we want to be known as. We want to be known as the two people that are here for to help everybody.
We love when we're able to make a sale. I mean, we love seeing our babies go to new good homes and people who want to have pets for life and love them. But what I love is being able to educate people and tell them exactly what they're getting into, or make them realize this is not going to be a 30-foot snake.
Right.
This is not going to get you in bed and suck the life out of your children.
Right.
So it's, I love being able to educate people. I love being able to have the kids come up to the table, and we'll take Loki, which is our Motley GC that we got from TJ, the one I was just holding, because he's absolutely phenomenal. I work with children on the spectrum full time, and I was actually able to take a couple snakes to work, and Loki was one of them that I took, the Motley GC, to show people, like, these snakes are not scary. They're not going to harm you. They're not going to do anything bad. And I had a handful of clients actually hold a snake for the first time who were absolutely petrified. And these are children on the spectrum, and being able to see their eyes light up and like fully understand, okay, this is
super cool.
So for me, it's the educational aspect that I love.
Yeah.
That's honestly one of my favorite. Like, who doesn't? I mean, when you start breeding them and you have babies to sell, you want to sell your snakes. I mean, it's inevitable. You have to sell them. You have to make some room. You got to get some money in to provide for them. But it's the teaching of, teaching the younger generation especially is what I like. I work for a rec center, so I do after school programs with kids. I run summer day camps. I've done that I've been working there, this place, for almost 20 years since I was in high school. I'm still there. So, and that's every year. I do a snake day where I bring a bunch of snakes. The kids get to interact. When I had my huge 18, 19-foot purple, I used to bring her. I mean, the kids would lose their minds. I mean, they talked about it all year leading up to the snake days. Like, oh my God, are you going to bring her name was Bella. Are you going to bring Bella? How big is she? What is she eating now? And it was the coolest thing ever. So I still have kids, and I haven't brought that. I don't even own that snake anymore. I haven't owned her in a couple of years. And kids now that are like teenagers that are working there. They're my summer day camp counselors that were in the program 10 years prior that still talk about, oh my God, remember when you brought that snake and you let me hold her and this and that. So that's the stuff that I like. I like giving those kids those memories and those positive interactions, because that's the stuff that's going to really help us in the future, whether they keep a reptile or not. Those are all positive things for us, and just being able to do that means the world to me. If I sell a snake to somebody, awesome, but I would much rather teach somebody about the positives of these animals rather than all the fears they have, So
I had one of my clients, he's 8 years old, and he loves any type of reptile. Like, he can tell you anything. I would pull up pictures and he would be like, that's a king cobra. That's this and this. And so when I told him that I was bringing snakes, he's like, are you bringing a reticulated python? And I'm like, yeah, I am. So he was super ecstatic. He got to hold it and touch it. And he's talking about, oh, look, this is what this is called. These are what these are called. And then he bolts to his parents, who know that he loves snakes and reptiles. And he's like, Miss Taylor keeps 2 reticulated pythons under her desk. And I was like, pause. They're not
pump those brakes a little bit.
He's like, I got to hold them and look at them and teach people about them. I was like, that you did, yes. But I don't keep them under my desk, I swear.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I like too. And I got the same mentality you do, Dave. It's if I don't sell anything, it's just I'd rather walk away with, the fact of knowing that, we got somebody over their fears, or now they weren't into Retics, but now the possibilities opened up.
Yep.
That's my biggest thing is for that, to see people and they're like, all right, these things don't grow to 35 feet. It's like, no, we told you that.
Right.
And then there's the bull python guy down the aisle. All right, don't listen to him. He's got his bull pythons. But,
yeah.
It's letting them know that they're not bad animals, letting them know that they're animals. They're just going to be like any other animal. You're going to get bit by a dog, you're going to get bit by a cat, you're going to get bit by a bird, you're going to get bit by a lizard. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, and it's going to tend to happen, and it's natural. It's a defense mode, a feeding response. You let them know that, and then they're like, oh, okay, so that's why he acted this way, or he did this way. And it's like, yeah, that's why. And they're like, okay, understandable. Now instead of my snake only doesn't want to bite my face off, and it's just, there's an answer to it,
Well, I think, the big thing like that, for me personally, like, I try to make myself as available, like we talked about earlier. I try to make myself as available as possible to anybody that buys a snake from me. Even I have people that message me on Instagram, and it seems to be Instagram more than Facebook. I don't know why, but it seems like I get people that have never bought a snake from me. I don't even think they've ever asked about buying a snake from me, but they're asking me questions about their snake they bought from whoever. And I don't care. I'll help. So my snake, my retic that I bought from blah, 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 it won't eat. What do I do? They're not answering me. I'll help them out. Or the snake is mean, or I can't get it to do this. I mean, could I be a dick and be like, go talk to the breeder? I could, but that's why. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help the hobby. That doesn't help this individual. That makes me look like an asshole. It's negatives all the way around. So why would anybody even do that to me? It blows my mind. And I get the being frustrated. There's times I'm frustrated. I get, I'll get messages all day, 3 a.m. I'm getting messages from random people. And sometimes it is annoying, but you got to it's part of being it. When you're known in this hobby and you're trying to be a positive role model, you have to suck it up and do it, So it's just that's kind of comes with it.
Oh yeah, we do it too. I mean, trust me, we get a lot of questions as well.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I was gonna say, you guys have such a huge. Like, I see you guys posting constantly on the social media, so I can imagine you guys are getting a ton of. I know you guys get a ton of messages because you guys are all your stories go 24/7 on Instagram. I always see your stories, so that's what you need to do to really get your name out there. Is the Instagram and the Facebook, all that stories and posting. So I can imagine you guys get a lot of traffic through your DMs and stuff.
When you have the easiest day job in the world, it's easy to
Anyway.
So let me ask you this. So I know you guys kind of went a different path as far as, you guys kind of got into getting the babies and helping selling them and stuff like that. So, and I know you guys do have a breeding coming, right? This is your first breeding. Is it still coming, or you have two coming?
We're trying for 3 clutches. Again, space allowing.
Yeah.
So we went for 3 and getting 2.
Okay.
So,
you didn't get eggs yet, though, right? From either breeding yet, or did you get eggs yet? Or is that top secret?
One of ours is about to drop probably next week, if my calculations are correct. And the other one
is that the one you posted of inverting and stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's she's the Mochino Postet Anthrax.
Mochino Het Anthrax to a Mochino Postet Anthrax.
Yeah, that'll be a good breeding.
Yeah,
very good breeding. Mocha Anthrax, no one's done, so it'll be the first, hopefully. Fingers crossed. At least, in worst case scenario, you make some cool Mochinos. Or do you know if with their hets, if they're het purples or whites?
Yeah, and that was a big help, and that was from Chris. He had asked me if I wanted to take that on, kind of like, do I want to take on what? He's like, I'll give you these 2. I was like, all right, let's come on, let's do this.
So is your plan not that I'm like trying to what is your guys' plan? Do you want to be a breeder, or are you kind of looking more? You do want to be a breeder more so.
Just, but it was just let's jump into the game. Let's it's probably people might say it, and you could say whatever you want, and they might say we're flippers or something like that. But I don't consider myself a flipper because, first of all, the money that I've spent on getting what I have, most flippers wouldn't spend.
I was gonna say, I hate that term flipper. First of all, I mean, I've used it in the past, but when you really sit and think about it, what does it matter if you got a snake for $200 and I buy it off you for what you're asking at $200, but this person over here offers me $300? Why does it matter? You should have sold it for $300 from the jump. Then I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah,
I used to use it 2 years ago, and now more as times went on, I'm like, why? Well, you can't get mad at somebody for. You're trying to make money. That's the point of this. We're trying to breed to make some money. That's without it. I know if I didn't make any money off my snakes, I wouldn't be able to have the snakes I have. It's plain and simple. Right. So I need to make money, but I just don't know why people get so mad about the whole flipper. The flipper, sell them, put them for more money, make more money. Fuck.
I mean, I can understand some. I mean, there's some people who just do it and they get mad and they don't sell anything in 6 months. They're getting rid of these animals and they're not doing what they promised themselves to do, and that's care of them and do that. And I can understand that, but like for us, I mean, we take care of these things. You can ask anybody who comes to our table. We literally open the displays and let the people grab them snakes themselves, and they're like, "Is it going to bite?" No. Why? Because we play with these things all the time. Every day they're getting played with. Every day they're getting attention. They're getting. That's what we want. We want people to be like, all right, it didn't strike. Holy cow, it's a Retic. It should be biting me. No, it's not. It doesn't. We want them to know that if you handle it and you don't leave it inside its enclosure and all that, it's gonna get used to you. It's gonna get used to you and want to come out and hang around with you. They're smart. They're not dumb animals. They're very, very smart. So with that, we do that. And it's just like I said with the flipping part, it's, we wanted to get into the game. We were offered a chance and we took it. And from there, we've just gone with the ball and ran. And some people have come to us and asked, can you sell our stuff for us? And it's not, and I say, of course, and I'm always willing to help everybody. That's my thing. I'm always willing to help everybody. because and that's like another thing. We don't ever not tell you where they're coming from.
Right.
Somebody asked us, is this yours? No, it's not ours. Oh, this is from Chris McVicker, or this is from Overy Pruitt, or this is from, In Your Face Exotics, whatever it's from. We don't take the credit for it. We didn't do anything like that. But we let people know that this coming season we have 3 clutches coming up, which will be ours. And we let them know, and we'll say, if you guys are interested, this is what we're doing this year. Like I said, we got the Mochino Anthrax and the Mogus possibly. And then we also have Genetic Stripes, where it's going to be...
it's a Genetic Stripe Pet Purple to a Mochino Genetic Stripe.
So it's, it's another nice animal, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, we just wanted to get into the game quicker.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing, and I don't know why people would even. I mean, I know people will say shit because people bitch about every possible thing they can bitch about. It shouldn't matter. Like, who cares? Again, you're providing a service. Like, I mean, me and you have talked. I'm going to send you some stuff. I have like 80-something babies here that I've just. I don't have enough time to post 80-something babies constantly all over the internet to buy some. I don't have the time to go hit all these local small shows. If I did, I wouldn't have that need. I don't have time. So you guys are providing a service, and you guys have a good show circuit out by you, and you guys have the social media. You guys can post all the time, and you guys are getting such a huge following super quick. Why? It's a win for everybody. I don't know why people have to bitch and complain.
I don't know either. I mean, this year we're doing what, 25 shows?
24 shows.
24
shows. That's crazy. That's awesome. I wish I could do that. When my kids are bigger, if I'm still doing this, that's my plan. Is I want to go hit, some of these small shows and do the whole circuit and run around the country, hopefully. But
yeah, we do a lot of shows in Texas, which because Perps, they're based out of Texas, so we do most of their stuff. We just became sponsors this year. We do Lone Star. Which is a smaller show in Arlington as well. We love working with Otis and Malia. They're such good people. And also NARBC, which that was a dream of mine to vend there one day. And it's like now we're vending there. This last year was 1 table. This year's 2.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Next year I'll try for 3. If I can.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
But
that's
it's
good.
Just growing with that. But this year, we decided to keep it at 3 clutches, and going back to your question about breeding. But next year it'll be what, 6 or 7?
Next year we'll have 3 more females hopefully ready to go. So 6 or 7. Our 3rd clutch this year was going to be some Snows, but she just didn't go. She went 2 years in a row. So I think she's just taking this year off. So.
Snows would be awesome. I was going to tell you with the genetic stripe stuff, hopefully don't beat yourselves up if they don't eat off the bat. I've had 2 clutches of them, and they suck to get started. I don't know if you've heard from Gavin or anybody else. The genetic stripe stuff sucks to get them to eat as babies. For whatever reason, they suck.
It's a good thing I have experience with that now from a previous clutch that we helped out a friend with.
Yeah, well, hopefully you guys have better luck. I didn't believe it. My first clutch, everyone's like, "Oh, just wait. You're going to hate your life. They suck. They're just the worst to get to eat." I was like, "Yeah, whatever. Sure." Sure enough, I'm down here for hours beating my head off the wall because these things will not eat. They won't strike. They wouldn't wrap. Some would wrap. Look, even Amanda's saying they suck bad. They 100% did as babies, fresh babies.
And figure where did I get that one from? Huh, Amanda?
Amanda?
Where did we get that big girl from?
Flying down to Texas to help us feed them.
So out of the 2 pairings you have, let's say, which one is your most anticipated? Which one are you looking more forward to? The possibility of the Mochino Anthrax stuff?
I'm looking forward to the GSs. I really am.
Okay. I mean, Mochino stuff, period, is killer anyway. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong. Hatchie Mochinos are awesome.
That and then if we could strike some purple GSs, that would be lavender.
We're hoping that it's purple, but lavender.
Oh, absolutely. So I like asking first, what is your guys' favorite morph? Like, of all the Retics, it doesn't even have to be anything you own. What's your favorite morph? If you could only pick one. Ocelot?
Aztec.
Oh, Aztec. Okay. Both of you? That's all. That's a killer.
I once, and I was like, I want that one. And he's like, that's not good. I was like, I want it. We're gonna get it.
It is
and Gavin made a joke with him. He's like, get ready, we're going down to Mexico. And I was like, you're not going to Mexico.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's got one here. I really wouldn't. I mean, really wouldn't be surprised. But hopefully somebody's got one because, yeah, it would be cool to see some here in the States because the combos with them are crazy. The purple Aztec sun that guy Jacob made. Oh my God, that is one of the coolest looking snakes I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably that's probably our favorite. Yeah, going right now. I mean, that we don't own, and but as far as keeping stuff that we do have, I mean, I probably, what would be my favorite?
I'd have to go with Amanda and say Motley as far as what we have, like visual Motley
stuff,
or like a lab snow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Snow stuff is, I was really I'm not a big Anery fan, period. Like, I've never really been an Anery fan, and Snows kind of went hand in hand with that, but as I keep seeing more and more snow stuff, like Eric Lee and Garrett making tons of crazy snow combos, I'm kind of liking them more and more than I thought I would. Like, when the first snows came out, I was like, it's like a faded out albino to me. I was like, I don't know what the draw is. It's, but now I start seeing like the Motley, I think it was a purple snow Motley Sun Tiger or something that Eric made. I'm like, that snake looks fucking crazy.
One of the sickest snows I've ever seen is one that Chris has.
That Chris McVicker has? What is it, just snow?
Lab snow.
No, it's a purple tiger or something. Chris, you know which one we're talking about.
Yeah, just put it in the comments.
But I mean, that's probably the brightest snow I've ever seen in my life. It's insane. It was insane.
Yeah. It's Chris is saying Anery.
I told you it was a lab.
Yeah, lab tiger snow. I mean,
I don't know if I've seen that snake. I don't know if Chris has posted. I'm sure he has. I'll have to look for Chris. Shoot me a picture of it on Facebook or something when you get a chance. I want to see it.
The most vibrant snow that I've seen, and for me, it was. I love the snows because I loved the pastel color and how it looked a little bit than the albino. But then I saw Chris's, and I was like, "There's no way this is a snow. Like, it was so bright."
Yeah.
But he said the lavender does that.
That's cool. Yeah, that is true because it's a lot brighter of a color. The purple kind of takes away some of that richness. What about localities? Are you guys into any locality stuff at all? Like, what would be your favorite locality if you could pick anyone you want or any of them out there? Sulawesi? Yes. Yes. Hell yeah. That's I mean, you guys know everyone knows that's where my heart is. But I didn't really post it, but my big female died the other day.
No. Oh man.
Yeah, a few people hit me up about it. I only told a few people. She was lock-in. I'm pretty sure she had eggs in her. And then the other day she was kind of laying funny and just didn't look right. And I was like, oh shit, this isn't good. So she kind of was not right. And me and the family went and ran errands, and I came home and I was like, I don't want to go downstairs. My gut, I knew it in my gut. I'm like, I know I just have this feeling. I went downstairs a few hours later and she was flipped upside down dead.
No.
17, 18 foot Sula done. So
Sorry,
I couldn't even, I was gonna cut her open to check. I couldn't even do it. I'm like, nice. She's in my freezer. I have a buddy that does taxidermy. He's gonna come pick her up, and yeah, that's my Sulas, man. I have the word. It's like the worst luck with them. It's my favorite snake, and I cannot get it to happen for whatever reason.
I think it was you because you were talking about him,
dude.
I was just like, I've never seen a Sulawesi locality before,
dude.
And then we Googled it, and I'm like, ooh. And she's like, ooh. And I'm like, oh, these are nice.
If somebody came and told me, like, you can have one snake the rest of your life, what are you picking? One Retic, I would be a Sula. I would get rid of my hypo. I'd get rid of my cow. I wouldn't get an ocelot. I would get, like, my textbook classic Sula that I like would be my pick. And that girl that died was probably as close to that as possible that I've seen so far. So that was a huge kick to the balls, dude. I was on the phone with my buddy Shane, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm selling all my snakes. fuck this. I was like ready to jump off the cliff. I was so mad. So he talked me down, and my wife talked to me, and I still have her sister, so I do have another female, but which still doesn't. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better, but yeah. So school is where it's at.
And before you asked about favorites, I'd have to say my second favorite is probably the full visual, the Indo Caramel Oscar.
Oh, that's your favorite snake right now, the Indo. Oh,
yeah. Dude, I mean, it's to see orange in pockets, and then the silver on the outside. I mean, it's insane.
I mean, the pictures of that animal just blow me. I cannot wait to see that snake in person one of these days.
Exactly.
The pictures look amazing, so I can only imagine in person how amazing that snake really, really looks.
I don't know if you can see it, but
you gotta send it to him, babe.
What is
that's Chris's.
Oh, okay.
You gotta send it.
Yeah, I can kind of see it, but I'll have to look.
It's bright as shit.
Yeah.
Thing.
Crazy.
The snow stuff is definitely growing on me more and more and more. Let me see what else. I got a list of stuff. Random questions. We talked about what your favorite morphous. So what is your? Well, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand. I was gonna say, what's your least favorite? Let's say your least favorite gene. What's something that you like are just not a fan of? Like
not a fan of anthrax.
What? What?
He does not like anthrax.
Hey, each their own, man. It's all good.
Okay, here's the thing.
You don't like it.
You don't have to like them. I'm just busting your balls. It's all good.
It's like a 75-25% thing because I'll tell you this: an anthrax tiger is beautiful. A Mochino anthrax is beautiful, and then Aubrey had given us a lavender anthrax.
Right.
I mean, the thing was insane. I mean, I was just like, wow, this thing was awesome. So, it's not my favorite. But I do have a few that I will.
You like them? So you don't like the base? You don't like the base anthrax, or you just don't like the base anthrax? Which is crazy because I feel like most people don't like. I feel like most people that don't like anthrax don't like the tigers. They like the base, but no, mine's titanium. I can't stand titanium, but what's yours, Taylor? What's your least favorite? Don't say anthrax too, please.
No, I love anthrax. I love anthrax. But you have to ask him to say anthrax real fast.
No, just come on.
Yeah, he's anthrax. That's all right.
East Coast coming out. No, as much as I love the bright yellow, the titanium would have to be one of these favorites as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not a titanium fan.
I agree. And, and the thing was that I kind of felt the same way. So, like, I wasn't a big titanium guy, and I went out to Jay's. And, I got to see a lot of the – this was before – I mean, he had a few cool morphs. He had, like, platinum, which I was surprised – which I really liked was the platinum. I think it was the platinum tiger titanium was the one that I liked, which was, like, the top or whatever was super yellow, and then the sides were, like, gray, super silver, which looked really nice. But I just couldn't – the base titanium or the titanium tiger just didn't do it for me. I love the hets. I think what the Citron does to all the hets is awesome.
That's cool.
I would much rather I would never own a visual titanium, but I would own some Citron stuff just to have that.
Yeah, Amanda has an orange glow tiger Citron that I want. I've been wanting for about 2 years now.
They're beautiful. It's like a Sunfire. They make everything look like a Sunfire. It's just brighten everything up and give it so much contrast. It's for a hat. It's pretty wild.
I would say one thing that we've kind of gotten into recently that I absolutely love. I love lemon glows. They're so bright and beautiful.
They just get better with age and size. They just get even nicer and nicer and nicer.
Right. Yeah, we've gotten a few. We've gotten a couple from John West, and I mean these things are like highlighter
lemons when they come.
Like highlighter yellow, and I'm like, well, then they got that silver. The silver triangles on the side.
Yeah, the lemon glow stuff is really nice, and I like what it does when because it is a little bit different than the platinum stuff, and I like what it does when you can I've seen some lemon glow tiger motleys or stuff like that, and they have such a different look than like a platinum Motley Tiger does. It's very, seeing them side by side, you can definitely see the differences. It's hard when you just see them by themselves, but it definitely has its own little unique characteristics for sure. With and being het Lucy, I mean, you can't really beat that. You know, they're all het Lucy anyways, so which sucks that you can't really keep Lucy's alive. What is your guys' favorite thing about the Retic community? Like, what's your most favorite thing? I'm going to ask you what your favorite thing is and your least favorite thing is, but what's your favorite thing within the Retic community?
My favorite thing is
I would say the support.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that's what you guys were going to say. I had a gut feeling that's what you were going to say.
The support, most definitely. It's been phenomenal and never-ending. We honestly couldn't have done it without everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It is a group. It's when you weed out a lot of the shitheads, it is a very good group of people. It really is. I mean, I like Shane is probably my best buddy in the whole snake world. I mean, he stood up in my wedding. Gavin and Amanda came to my wedding. I mean, like, I've known Gavin since I was a kid. Me and Gavin, we butt heads. I mean, we don't agree on stuff, but I love Gavin to death. He's one of my favorite. He's one of the best human beings on the planet. There's just so many good people in the hobby. You know, it's just, and the good ones, you know, you don't have to agree with them on stuff, but you know that they got your back no matter what. I mean, there's a lot of people that I don't agree with on a lot of things, but when it comes to the snake world, you know, we do have each other's back for the most part.
Biggest thing.
The biggest thing is weeding out those shitheads. There's so many shitty scumbag people. That's the problem.
I give everybody a chance. You know,
you have to. I mean, you do. You have to. But there's a lot. I mean, there is a lot of people, though. I mean, it is kind of scary when you see it.
I'd have to say my least favorite. I have two least favorite things: is the shitheads in the industry that I think one of my biggest things is when negative things about Retics are posted. And then it just scares people because they're like, well, I saw this and this is going to happen. So just those negative things and just weeding out the bad people that are in the industry.
Clickbait.
Yeah, the clickbait. Exactly.
That drives me nuts. That shit drives me nuts, man.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's from the people that we really need to not. I'm going to say like Jay, for example, like a Jay, who's one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. And like, I understand the clickbait thing. I mean, that's the whole point of getting people to look at your shit. But it's like the Retics are right, dude. We're right there from getting them taken away, and you're using them to you're getting struck at with them. Like, I think it's entertaining as a person that loves snakes. Like, it's cool, but I understand the negatives of that, the negative implications that video is gonna have. It's just the same as like feeding videos, like. Everybody, I think if you keep snakes, you love watching them eat. That's part of the fascination of seeing them eat, you know, but you post it on a group and somebody takes it and shares it, and not everybody has that same mentality. It's going to be used negatively.
You know, that's one of the things that I've always gotten at the table is, you guys are selling Retics, right? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I can't get these. If we breed them, they're going to eat my face off. And I'm like, they're not going to eat your face off, you know? And that's the sad part is stuff like that is only viewed and everybody likes it, but then everybody shoots it down. So it's like, you know, and it doesn't play out well for us. Like, for instance, I mean, I don't know if you have any, but, you know, you could find out some educational videos out there of taking the eggs out within the first 12 hours of them all coming out. Chris has it. Chris has a video of him taking out eggs, like if the snake was sleeping right there next to him and he's just grabbing him and like walking away with him.
Versus the clickbait where you see the snake.
You know, it sucks. I have people coming to the table and saying, and that's the thing that bothers me the most is some of the stuff these people say are coming from the upper people. And it's like, no, why? No, this thing's not going to bite your face off if you take its eggs away. You got to know when to take the eggs away, you know, and how to do it, and things will work out fine. And nothing will happen.
I've had 2 females out of all the clutches of Retics I've ever had that, and I mean, I haven't had a million, but I've had a few, and I've had 2 that were terrible, and they were nowhere near as bad as some of the videos that I've seen posted. Like, not even, a little bit. So I don't know why. I mean, are they hyping it up to make like annoy them to the point to where I don't know. I find it crazy that many clutches, that many females are that crazy.
No.
You know,
I think it's hyping them up and agitating them.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's for the views.
Leaving them on their eggs for a week or however many days to get them.
And maybe that could be part of like for me because like I try to pull mine within. I mean, usually I'm home when they lay, and I'll wait till she drops 10 or 15. I'll pull as many out as I can, put them in the incubator, wait till she drops more, and I'll pull them out. You know, stuff like that. You know, but I would never want to leave them in there long to pull them because I don't want her to freak out like that. But
exactly.
The clickbait is ridiculous. It's terrible.
That's the unhappy part about what we.
Well, and the second part would be all the distance between all of us because y'all are too damn far from Texas. Okay, all of you except for Chris. He's like 2 hours. The only one.
And James is down here, you know. But it sucks when you don't get to see everybody.
Yeah, but it makes it nice though. That's the thing. It makes it nice when you do get together. It's special. You know, it is a special like. Coming down to when I came down to Texas was awesome. It was, dude. There were so many people that I met, and I'll be honest, that I don't remember. I can't remember names. Like people would come up, "Hey, what's up, Jake?" That I talked to on Facebook or Instagram, and I don't know who they are. But we talk, and they know me, and it's like I feel like a dick because I want to know everybody, but like I don't know. I love going to see everybody. I love talking and having dinner and just hanging out and drinking, and it's a great
It's kind of hard to miss you, Jake. You're like 2 times my height. So.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But I mean, that was like when Dax, you came up, I don't even think I met you right away, Taylor. Dax came up, let's go get a beer. We went and got a beer. We hung out. We were bullshitting and stuff. And then, like, that to me that's honestly what I like doing about going to the reptile shows is that, hanging out and bullshitting, you know?
Yeah. So. I mean, we have other things besides the snakes, but that's the main thing that keeps us together.
Absolutely. Who would you guys say is your biggest mentor? Like, who's helped you out the most, do you think, out of everybody? I know you guys have named a bunch. Like, who do you think is your biggest mentor so far?
It's hard.
Can I name a few people?
Sure.
It's actually going to be, it'll be a few.
For me, it would be Amanda, Sarah Gavin, Chris McVicker. TJ has helped me tremendously ever since day one when we bought Loki. If I had any questions, anything, he was always there answering text messages as well. So I know Dax always gets, answers from Chris and Aubrey. I mean, Keith has helped us. Jim has helped us.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in the community we're entirely grateful for, but our closest, I would have to say, would be Amanda, Sarah, Gavin, Chris, and TJ. And Aubrey.
Yeah.
Everyone. Just say everyone.
Just everyone. Well, I mean, again, I feel like you guys are kind of you're kind of came up in a different trajectory than most people. So, like, I feel like it'd be hard for you guys to name one person. Like, I feel like, like when I came up, it was like I had 1 or 2 people that I really gravitated towards, and those were my people. You guys kind of had a whole collective group of people, which is nice because you can kind of get bits and pieces from everybody.
Yeah, we get different angles from everyone. Figure out what works for us.
That's nice.
One-sided, which is really great, and everyone was always super open as well. They're like, "This is what I do," but if something works different for you that are along these lines, it still is, good.
It gives you a good baseline. Like, you could start here, and this person tells you this. You can kind of tweak it to kind of fit both of those, and yeah, makes sense. What's like some of your goal projects? Like, you could be breedings. Like, what is something that you guys want to make, or what do you guys want to produce? Or
I have one. It's probably 8 or 9 years down the line, but it's a dream of mine. Should I say it?
What is it?
I want to make snow pies.
Ooh, there you go.
No one take it. I'm watching all of you.
There's already heads out there, but
I know.
Yeah, there is.
But that's all right though. You can still make them. You can still make them yourself.
I would love to make snow pies. That would be my thing.
I think that's gonna be a really cool snake, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that a few years ago, but the more now, like I said, I really think that's gonna be a really, really attractive animal.
I know some people already have, in the process and going, but to have
like Eric Lee has got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Dex?
Eric Lee has everything. So
yeah, he's insane. Well, he does it full time. That's his full time job.
I know.
It's wild. It's fucking. I couldn't imagine it. What about you, Dex? Do you have anything goal? Like, what's your goal? What's a goal project for you that you want to see? Is it the same?
Yeah, it would be the same. Yeah, because I've always liked snows. It's always been one of my favorites, and pies have always been a favorite of mine, even along the ball python line and everything else that anything like that with discoloration and separation of colors I've always liked.
Yeah.
So that would be mostly my thing.
The nice thing too is being that that's a triple recessive. I mean, even if Eric makes them, he ain't gonna make a lot. You'd be lucky to make one out of a clutch. Really, it's such a hard. I don't even know off the top of my head. Triple recessive is I think it's 1 in 64 or something like that for a triple recessive. So I mean, it'd
be hard, but
it's a hard animal to make.
We're working on it because I'm a big I'm a Frankenstein snake kind of guy, and I'm one of those guys who take 8 gene animals and put them together with another 8 gene animal and try to figure out what I'm going to get. So
it's tough.
So that's for me. Like, I have a few babies right now that are growing up, and in 2 or 3 years, I'm going to have one girl who's got 6 genes, and I'm putting her with a boy who has 5. And it's like,
well, like you said too, if you have limited space, you got to kind of be a little more selective. So having those animals with those multiple genes on both sides, it makes it a little easier. You don't have to focus on. That's my kind of goals. I have a lot of stuff that's like 1 gene or 2 genes. That's like not really 1 gene, but I have a lot of 2 gene animals. It's like, do I really need these? But I've such a hard time getting rid of stuff. Like, I have a purple GC female that I hatched like 7 years ago that I've never bred. She's just sitting in my cage. She's not really big. She's like 11 feet. I've never had the right male for her. I could breed her, but I don't want to just breed her to breed her for no reason. It's why? So now I finally have. I'm going to breed I have my phantom sun tiger anthrax male. I'm going to breed to her eventually as soon as she's ready. Get her to cycle, and hopefully make some cool double heads. But then I just have that. I picked up that tiger double head purple anthrax female who's a proven breeder. So now I can make some purple sun tiger anthrax combos or super tiger anthrax combos. But
that's what we did, because since we're limited on space, what we did was actually we sat down and we figured out our animals, and literally every animal we have can work every single other animal that we have right now.
Yep.
So it works all in conjunction. So I could literally take all our animals and we're good for the next 5 or 6 seasons on just what we have there.
That's a very smart way to do it. That's the way most people should really sit down and figure out their stuff, because there's a lot of people that just buy stuff to buy stuff, and it looks pretty and it looks nice, and it has no bearing.
He did that. He did that.
It's it's tough. Let's example like my blonde stuff, right? Like, I love the blonde stuff. That's like got my heart. That's like my favorite albino, but it's not everybody's favorite. It's such a niche little market. It's hard, but it's one of those things where I won't ever not make them just because I like them so much. But I have to be very selective with what I pair, because I know the market for them isn't very huge. Which sucks is that's my biggest female is my big blonde tiger girl. She lays 60 eggs. So it's like, fuck, what do I do with 60, 65 eggs of all blondes? She's been breeding right now. I'm going to have probably a massive clutch of, I bet she lays 70 eggs this year. Yeah. And they're going to be all visual blondes. So like, that's a clutch that I probably will reach out to like a Bob or somebody, because I know he likes the blondes and he has a big market for blondes. I could be like, Bob, do you want to buy half the clutch from me? I'll sell you half the blondes or something, because I don't need to sit on 70 visual blonde babies. I don't have the market for that. I don't think our market here, period, is big enough for them. So, just being very selective.
That was another thing with me. It's like I love albinos, especially like purple and lavenders. So I'm always going to try to make anything purple and lavender.
They sell great. The market, everybody wants purples and lavenders.
Yeah,
all the time.
It's for us at shows, it's the first thing that usually goes. Anything albino, purple lab, or I mean, just any albino period. But that's one of my favorite morphs, or anything albino, purple lab. So anything that I'm going to create or try to work with, somewhere in there is going to be purple. Yeah. And I'm a big person on doing collabs. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do, if you had something that would work with me, we split the clutch.
Breeding
I'm all about that too, because again, it's do I need 40 tigers at my table, or can I use 15 to 20?
It's a lot easier to split a clutch for sure, So it definitely makes it. I've done a few, and they usually work out pretty well as long as both people are open and honest. They usually work out pretty well. I've seen them go very bad as well, though. That's the only flip side. But I think it's more the people that are involved. Not me. I'm not saying me, but I've seen other people do them.
Of course, yeah.
I think it's the people that are involved. It makes it a little bit harder to do. I've seen them break up friendships of like years and stuff. So that's why me and some of my buddies, like me and Shane, again, he's probably my closest. We haven't done one yet. I mean, we've been talking, but it's just I don't want to risk a friendship over him, and he's the same way. And I don't think it would, but it's one of those things you say, oh, it's not going to. But then when the stuff hatches, could it? I would hope not. But
yeah. So
it's like, why even risk it? So I don't know. It's definitely kind of touchy. But
it's so far it's worked pretty good. So I mean, we've done our clutches are collabs.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, if you're doing one with Chris is a great dude. I mean, and if he basically is, here you go, breed him, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Do it up. I mean, I don't think you'd have an issue with Chris whatsoever.
No.
Where do you guys want to see yourselves in the next 5 years within this, with DNT Retics or within the reptile hobby? Do you see are you guys going to stay just Retics? Or are you going to expand? You want to expand into other stuff or no?
Elon,
Not going to breed no venomous? No breeding no venomous?
No, I'm not breeding venomous. Those are just displays. But it's I mean, I don't know. I can't say 100% for sure. I mean, diversification is always something that comes up. It's always it's not that it's come up now, but in time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know where the market's going. We don't know what's going to happen.
The laws too. I mean, all the laws could have a huge impact. I mean, I know that's what everybody's worried about. Is what happens when you have these animals and you're breeding them and you can't send them across state lines. Then what happens? I mean, not that I'm promoting it, but it's going to go underground. I mean, it's a given thing. What I think about instantly is what happens. Like, my opinion on what's going to happen is if it does, NARBC, let's say you guys vend in Texas, I vend in Illinois. Do you or do I have to check IDs of people that are buying snakes? I wouldn't think so, because technically we're not breaking a law. Like, we're still selling in our state. So, to me, the law
afterwards,
right? They would be the one.
We have to do that in Texas. Anybody who purchases.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, because if we get audited, state wants to know who purchased from us.
Oh, I did not know that.
So we tell everybody, once you buy an animal from us, we got 30 days to go to a Walmart.
Because you guys got to do all your permits too. Yeah, shit.
Texas. You just go to Walmart or
just go to Walmart or Academy, and it's $20 a year.
Right.
So and it covers your ass in the long run.
Yeah.
You have a Karen living next to you, and she's complaining about your big snake on the front lawn. You can waive your permit, and she can't say nothing.
Right.
It just helps. It helps us in the long run as well, because it's not a problem with anybody. Because now, since everybody's permitted, nobody can say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, we don't have that. We don't have that here, permits or any of that. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I would love to just one time breed a clutch from our Motley Jungle Boa just to experience a live birth. I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
That would be one side of the diversification with us, would be her, because she wants to do that.
I don't want to do it all the time.
No,
I want to produce an IMG. Oh my
Well, a lot. I'm with you. I think a live birth would be super cool. Like I've always been a big anaconda guy. I would love to get a pair of green anacondas and breed them and get a litter myself. I don't have the time. It's like long. It's like an 8-year process on the female.
Oh, wow.
6-8 years are on a female, but just to experience a live birth, I think would be super neat. You don't have to incubate them, and you open the cage, and you see all these little babies in there. Would be, I think, super super wild.
And
But
the only other thing that would happen is my daughter is heavily into ball pythons now. She has 5 in her room already.
oh wow.
Building her collection. So the only other thing that would possibly be on
Yeah,
her
our
table
table.
in like the next 3 years would be her with her ball pythons.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
but
There's nothing wrong with that.
no, and we're teaching her, you got to raise them up. You got to know your morphs. You got to be able to answer questions for customers. And whatever you sell at that table, you can keep. But you're going to do just like any other vendor would do. We're not going to charge her the full table price, but she can pay $50 for a table, half of the table,
Yeah.
and be able to build her business the way she wants to.
Yes.
That's my little guy's getting in. He's really wanting to get into the snakes more. He comes down here and he's looking at stuff. And so I think we'll eventually get a couple. I mean, I like some of the ball python morphs personally, and I just think like it wouldn't be a bad idea to get my plan would be to get like 10 high CB70 of females, have maybe 10 females, and do like 3 or 4 males, and that's it. Keep some holdback stuff, phase out the adult females and raise them up, and just do it that way. Because I mean, ball pythons will sell, and it's good to have a little bit of different stuff on your table too. It never hurts. It would never hurt at all. But that's cool. That's very neat.
So yeah, that's another thing. It's like we're at the show we're doing at NARBC. We got Chris. We just announced it the other day as well. He's going to be at our table as well. With his boas and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it'll be nice. Yeah, it'll be cool. It's just something different.
That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be good, man. I'm super jealous. The week before, man, I start getting super jealous on everybody. Fucking gonna go to the show. We're stuck here. Damn. Should just fly out last minute and come down.
You should.
If I didn't just miss a week of work being sick with the COVID, it would have been a lot easier. But stupid. So let me ask you this: Who designs all you guys' shirts? You guys always have the best shirts, the best swag, I should say. All you, huh, Taylor?
I did a lot of computer graphics growing up. My father built computers, so
Right
I was
on.
very literate with computer systems and doing graphics and designs and things like that. So when it came down to the business and I did our first logo, which is the shirt that you're wearing, my very first logo that I ever created for DNT. And then I created the little side logo that you have on. And then Dax was like, I want this cool logo that goes after wrestling. And
I was gonna say that shirt. I love that shirt. I need one of those black ones. Wrestling. It'll go perfect with all my wrestling shirts.
It's a bullet, so it goes after the Bullet Club kind of scenario for wrestling. And so I found the font that Bullet Club used, and I incorporated it into the DNT, and then I used the army tags and the chevrons, and then I found the hooks with the mice, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make, because they have the guns with the bullets. Gotta make this somehow snake incorporated.
Yeah, when I saw those shirts, I was like, "Fuck, those are badass." I was like, "God damn, those are cool as hell."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys do have. I love all the designs, your stickers, the whole deal. I mean, you can't see them, but I got your stickers on my other incubator on the side here. I put all my stickers on the side of the incubator, and yeah, dude, I love your your stuff, all your shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
Definitely killing it.
We got some stuff coming up. We got some limited edition shirts. That's one of them.
Got the front, the arms, and the back.
Yeah, we'll be doing one for. This one was done for Herps.
Okay.
Since we started sponsoring them, we asked them if we could put their logo on our shirts. So we did a limited edition for them. I just asked Brian last week, Potter at NARBC, to if we could put his stuff on our shirt as well. So he said that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to make one up for NARBC in September.
I'll make one.
I'll give her the ideas and she'll fix it. And then we're going to do one for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just pink shirts. So
Sweet.
just for the girls and guys as well too, But yeah, we're just going to do all pink shirts.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, I people ask me, or I see all these people with the shirts, and they're like, man, they got the coolest shirt designs and stuff. You guys do. You guys are killing it with the swag, for sure. For sure. You guys make me. I'm like, man, I gotta up my game, man. Fuck. It took me like 5 years to get a logo because I'm so indecisive, and then I finally got some shirts made, and now I'm like, I got to do some more shirts. I'm like slacking big time. You know, that's what I need to do is up my shirt. I've still never made stickers. I've gotten like 3 times. I've made them, got ready, and I'm not going to buy them yet.
And the funny part is the whole idea of the way I'm trying to rush this out would be based on one person and who I got it from, and that's Miguel from Always Evolving.
Dude,
he's it, and he didn't care what anybody said.
Yes.
He did whatever he bought, anything he wanted, and he paired them up, and he did whatever he did, and that's the same way that's my focus, and my channel is like just doing that, buying whatever I want, doing it however I can, and just getting everything out there.
It's the consistency too. I mean, you guys are always coming out with the shirts, and you guys constantly got new designs, like you're saying, and you guys are always doing your stories, and you're always doing your posts. That's I guess it's hard for me personally, is like, because the hobby's never been like that, so it's very like, just here's my animal for sale, here's my shirt, boom. And you guys are so like on the social media game and marketing game. It's I mean, dude, it makes me like, fuck, man, they're killing it. I know there's other people that are the same way, because it's just, that's the way the hobby is. You look at like a Miguel or a Justin Kabelka, you know, and you look at like these guys that are really marketing their brand, which you guys do awesome, like very awesome. Like that's kind of how you need to do it. So kudos to you guys. Keep it up, because it's, like I said, it's fucking awesome. I've had so many people message me about excited having you guys on here, because they're like, oh, we follow them on Instagram and we watch all their stories and stuff like that. So, I mean, you guys are definitely, like I said, you guys are making waves quick, very fast. So
that was the funny part. Our first NARBC last year, when we were situated right by the front door. As soon as you walked in, literally.
Right, the first table on the right. So, right when you walked in the door. And I was like, this can either go 2 ways. Like, it can either be really good because people see us and they're going to see our animals and be like, wow, these are beautiful. Or they're going to see us and be like, wow, these are beautiful. But I'm going to go look around, and then they're never come back.
Yeah, it worked both ways. But the biggest thing for me was everybody came in and they were like, oh my God, we follow you on Instagram and Facebook. Yep. And that was, by the end of the weekend, it was over 200 people who had said it. And I was just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
What I want to hear. This is exactly what I wanted to always hear. I'm at NARBC #1 vending, which I never thought I would be at. Yep. Because my whole life I was told that I'm never going to sell snakes and it's not worth anything to it. And now here, look at the way we are now. And then hearing that, you know, everybody's like, we follow you. And it's like,
that's the best feeling in the world. That is the best feeling in the world. No matter, you know, my wife looks at me funny. She'll come with me to some of our we got a local show here that we go to every once in a while. And, you know, sometimes when we're walking around, I get these random little younger kids. They come up and they're, hey, Jake, can I get a picture with you? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I found you on Instagram, or I see you on YouTube, and you need to make more YouTube videos and this and that. And it's like, all right, cool. My wife's like, what is going on? Like, these kids are like trying to get photographs with you, and that's what I mean. It's wild. Like, you don't realize the impact you have, I guess, on people until stuff. Hey, I follow you. Oh my God, I love what you do, and that's and that. Like, that's you're like, damn. Okay, I guess what I'm doing is working. You know?
Yeah, it's like when you asked us. I mean, we had Chris Eaton from Snakes and the Fat Man asked us.
Oh, really? He's awesome. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's great.
Awesome.
He's super cool, dude. And he had asked us first, and I was just like, we were just asked to be on someone's YouTube. And she's like, no way. And then, yeah, and I'm like, I swear to God, look. You know?
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, and then when you had asked us, I was like, awesome, because I mean, not that I didn't know Chris, but it was, you know, Chris is multifaceted with all parts of the hobby. And when you had asked us, and I was like, man, Jake asked to be on his show. This is perfect.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys coming on for sure.
Oh, I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I mean, I think we got it. We're at an hour, almost an hour and a half. Fuck, I don't feel like it was that long, honestly.
Not either.
Well, see, and it was fine, Dax. I know you were a little nervous. You did good, man. You guys did awesome. I appreciate you guys coming on. So hopefully you guys have a killer show this weekend. I'll be anxiously looking at pictures of everybody posting stuff and be hating that I can't be there with you guys, but I'll be there in spirit. So
September, dude. September.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Maybe, you never know. Maybe I'll figure out a way to make it out there for sure. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming on. And what I'm going to do, I haven't been doing it. I need to start is I'm going to make sure to put all your guys' social media info down here in the comments. That way, if people aren't already following you, they can. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Oh,
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason.
We'll definitely have you guys on again for sure. I'd like to, after you guys get some clutches and some do the whole process and hatch your first clutch out and stuff and make some cool shit, we'll have to get you guys on. So
yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to we'll end the broadcast. You guys can stay on. We can chat for a minute or two, and then we will we'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. Take it easy. Awesome. That was a great show. So I thanks to Dax and Taylor for coming on. You guys are killing it. If you guys are not already following them, make sure you go on Instagram and Facebook and check them out. So as always, I appreciate the love and support. If you guys are not already subscribe to the YouTube page, go on Instagram, like the page, do all that. I'm working on the next guest, so hopefully we can have another one here pretty soon and not have a big gap in between shows. So appreciate it, guys. Love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.